In the 17th century, France had 40 galleys in a corps commanded by a general of the galleys. The corps was made up of 3 types of ship: the ordinary galley, the ultimate battleship; the patron galley for the commanders of the corps; and the royal galley for the use of the king, queen, and royal princes. The ship originated in the Mediterranean in the year 600 BC and was designed for close combat.
The galley was a combat weapon. The idea was to surprise the enemy ships, to sail around them, to surround them if they were isolated ships, and then to ram them. The strength of the galley lay in its impact, because you had to smash into the enemy galley at right angles.
Smashing into the opposing ship meant ramming it at full speed, so the galley was shaped to glide over the waves. The slender hull, 8 times longer than it was wide, offered exceptional hydrodynamic performance. Its low height in the water gave the oars maximum lever effect. Finally, this ship, weighing just 250 tons, had 2 means of propulsion.
Galleys had 1 or 2 masts with triangular sails, and as soon as there was a bit of wind, they put the sails up. But the main characteristic of the galley was the oars, the human propulsion.
An ordinary galley had 51 oars, 26 on one side and 25 on the other. Each oar was 12 meters long and weighed up to 130 kilograms. With 5 rowers per oar, 255 men were required to crew the ship.
They would stand up and use all their body weight, and they would hold their oar, in which there were wooden structures called palements, which they'd grip with their hands, and then they'd push the oar all the way forward and pull it back towards them. And that's how they made the galley advance.
A good rower was a man with big thighs, rather than big arms, because basically it's the strength in the legs, the thighs, which make the ship move faster, and the arms just go with the oar.
At full speed, the galley could reach 6 knots or 11 kilometers per hour, fast enough to seriously damage the opposing ship on impact. While the slender hull allowed it to go fast, its low height in the water meant it couldn't sail outside the Mediterranean.
Galleys stayed close to shore. They weren't sea-going ships. In winter they stayed in port. If it was windy, they couldn't sail, so galleys weren't used often.
The reason the galley fell from favour wasn't its poor nautical qualities, but its limited firepower.
The problem with the galley was that you needed space for the oars and for the artillery. So the galley's artillery was packed into the bow. When 2 fleets of galleys confronted each other, they did so facing each other because of their cannons. The idea was to weaken the enemy before close combat.
It was fairly tokenistic, because once you fire a cannon, you have to reload it, and it was very difficult to reload a cannon on a galley.
From 1680, galleys were no longer used in the front line as they didn't have enough cannons. The ship was abandoned after reigning over the Mediterranean for 2 millennia.